Good morning and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Today I wanted to make a quick guide about Moon Knight. I was talking with some friends last night and it seems like a lot of people were super confused about what this character actually does, so I wanted to hop on here, and I assume other people have the same confusion, so I wanted to make a really quick guide, get into that a little bit, and let's get right into it. So we're going to go through his basic abilities first, and then we'll talk about combos, things you can do. I'll kind of weave those in as well too as we're going through the basic ability. So your left click will just be a projectile. It's pretty hard to hit people in the air with because it has a lot of travel time, as you can see. If I click, it's like a good almost a second until it gets over there. So probably don't be focusing flying characters. You definitely want to focus your attention on keeping height and hitting characters on the ground. But if I do hit this enemy, it bounces between enemies. So if I just click once, boom, that's all the stuff it does. So it feels like it gives you a ton of hit markers if you just hit once, but it's really good in chokeholds where everyone is, not chokeholds, oh gosh, choke points, where people are stacked on top of each other, because you can click once and then boom, you're hitting all these people for a ton of damage. The same thing goes with your right click. So your right click is just a harder hitting ability. You definitely don't want to be missing this. It gives you so much damage. But yeah, that half hit both bots. That's kind of crazy. So, and again, bounces between targets. Very, very good. His E ability is where let's save that for last. So he has a double jump, so you can always double jump with him, which is really cool. If you double jump, you can glide. That's your left shift. So very, very, very self-explanatory. And then he also has a grappling hook. So you can grapple, but as you can see, it didn't even get me up there, even though I hit like the ledge, or you can double jump off of that. So grappling, double jumping also works. But one little thing that I did learn earlier this morning is that you can actually grapple at your feet and get a ridiculous amount of height. So like you saw before, if I try and grapple up here, I can reach with double jumping, but I'm just barely clearing that railing. And if I am all the way over here, grapple at my feet, double jump, and glide, I'm clearing it by more, and I was further back, which is kind of crazy. So definitely, if someone sends you, if an assassin gets on you, don't be afraid to just grapple at your feet, get above them. It gives you a lot of time to reset. Additionally, we'll go over kind of the bigger combo in that situation at the end, but we'll explain the Ankhs first, just so that no one's confused. So your Ankh is your E ability. When you put them down and you hit enemies, or they're nearby, they pull them in. If you attack your Ankh, you have aimbot. Your auto attacks cannot miss. So that's why I mentioned earlier that you want to be on height at this sort of angle, and you want to place your Ankh somewhere where you are getting maximum value out of it. So you can throw it down and then just start beaming the crap out of it with your auto attacks, and you will have aimbot. You will shred enemy teams like that. Additionally, your right click also bounces off your Ankh, so you can aim at your Ankh with your right click, and that will also bounce damage around the enemy. They will bounce auto attacks between each other, so if you have two Ankhs there, you can bounce auto attacks off of one Ankh to another Ankh to an enemy, which is a little bit weird. Usually people won't let you have two Ankhs out. They'll destroy them pretty quickly, which is why when you're comboing, you can be poking, whatever, you can do all your sort of thing, but you want to attack the Ankh before it hits the ground. As you can see, the Ankh has a travel time. If I throw it there, you can throw it on walls too and anything like that. You can throw it on pretty much any terrain, but it does have a travel time. So you can see it just stuck there. So does your right click, so do your auto attacks. But if you're up here, the Ankh will hit the ground first if you hit it first. So you can throw the Ankh and immediately right click, and that was hardly any time that the enemy had vision of the Ankh, was able to see it, attack it. It can't even be attacked till it hits the ground. So if you throw it right away, you're not giving them a whole lot of counterplay, and you can already start pumping into the Ankh, do a ton of unavoidable damage, and maybe even get a pick off of that as well. The other thing that you can do is throw an Ankh like on yourself too. And so let's say I was getting sent by an assassin or something like that, and they're bouncing all over me and I have no idea where they are, that sort of thing. Let's pretend this bot is the assassin. I can just throw an Ankh down at my feet and just start shooting at it, and I don't have to see the bot. I just did have his health, just looking straight down at this Ankh, and I'm like, oh crap, and I randomly kill the person. Additionally, if a situation like that happens, you can throw an Ankh down, like grapple at your feet, double jump, and then just start, you know, beaming the Ankh and trying to get a little bit more damage on your attacker that way. So, and the last thing I want to go over is his ultimate. So his ultimate will just drop a bunch of stuff from the sky, does damage in bursts. It's a really, really small area compared to a lot of other ultimates, so I've heard a lot of people complaining that it's impossible to hit, that sort of thing, which is definitely true. But something you can do is just call it down and immediately Ankh, and that will give you a little bit of a pull-in, which buys you probably one more tick of damage from your ult, so it becomes much more reasonable to hit, and that's something that I would definitely recommend doing. So you hit your ult, drop it, Ankh, and just start blasting damage into your Ankh, and you can shred a whole team very, very quickly. So that is Moon Knight. Good luck on trying this guy in some real games. It's a whole lot of fun, especially when you realize that Ankhs are kind of the main hit. Gives you aimbot. Fantastic. You can get a ton of damage, ton of kills, a lot of picks, and you have a lot of good mobility and escaping and all that sort of stuff. So have fun in Marvel Rivals, and I will see you guys later.